What's good, YouTube? It's your boy JusticeXFalls. We back at it again with another video, and we're looking at this game reveal. It's supposed to be a game reveal from Sega. It's supposed to steal the show. I don't know. We're gonna see what happens with this. So let's get it.
Welcome back to IGN's Summer of Gaming, your place for June's game
I hope this is not trash.
exclusive gameplay, and so much more. And today we've got another new game to show off. In partnership with Sega and Creative Assembly, we're proud to reveal a brand new game. Earth is broken. The rich pricks that ruined everything are now living their best life on Mars, while everyone else is roughing it in space slums. But the tides are turning.
Terraforming?
The rich have stolen everything. Don't you think it's time to steal it all back? This is Hyenas.
Hyenas, okay. Okay. Can we get some actual gameplay? Are we gonna get gameplay? Third person looks like, okay. Isometric, we got a third person view, isometric view.
I said stop playing with the merch and move. Can't you see we're busy?
Yes, very busy, darling.
Fight in 0G. Steal epic merge. Escape to win. Game over. Join the pack. Hyenas. Oh, I'm like dark as hell. I didn't even know. I don't even got my light on. I'm bugging. So all I know all y'all saw was like teeth and eyeballs.
Hyenas
My fault.
5 teams of 3 against each other in the environment to engage, evade, exploit, and of course, steal their way to victory. Let's find out everything we can about Hyenas right now.
Yeah, please. I need more than that.
What's up, everybody? I'm
More than that
Destin, and
trailer.
joining me to talk about Hyenas is Creative Director at Creative Assembly, Charlie Busha. Charlie, how are you doing today?
I'm great, thanks, Destin. Very excited to be here talking about Hyenas.
Well, why don't you tell everybody what is Hyenas?
Hyenas is a multiplayer, multi-team robbery game. It's 5
Okay.
teams of 3 set on these vast spaceships full of security, switches, and gadgets. And our heroes, our anti-heroes, the Hyenas, they're these misfit pirates plunging their way through this pop culture galaxy, shooting cliffs, jacking ships, and robbing rich pricks. So basically, in our world, in our universe now, the rich have finally made it to Mars. The billionaires finally made it to Mars and made this paradise tax haven, and they left us all behind. But the tech they used destroyed the Earth. So a few million of us managed to get off, and we're living in a floating, orbiting slum known as a taint. The billionaires are doing fine.
That sounds like it
as
could really
always
happen.
are, but the one thing they miss on Mars is the pop culture flotsam we left behind when we evacuated. So they send these vast plunder ships back to Earth to pick this stuff up and to bring it back to Mars to sell it to their customers, where it gives them status, nostalgia, and it's what they really miss. But our anti-heroes, the Hyenas, they're not going to take, they've lost their future, and they're not going to take that lying down anymore. So they're going to attack these plunder ships as they come past and rob them of this merch. And these ships aren't defenseless. Like I said, they're full of security, they're full of sensors and switches and interactive systems and gadgets. So you've got this great environment for this competitive game to take place on. Some people might call it PvEVP, but we call it PvEEVP.
Okay, that's a lot.
Well,
That's a lot.
sounds really, really cool. And you've actually used a unique art style to tell this story. How would you describe the
Yeah, the
look
art
that
style's
you've
dope.
gone for? Why did you go for that look? And what tone are you trying to set with it?
Yeah, sure. I think there's 2 parts to this answer. And the first thing is it's very important to us that when you look at the game, when our players see this game, they can tell it's brazen and irreverent and larger than life, but they've also got to tell it doesn't take itself too seriously. So we went for something that was somewhat illustrative as well. So I'd call it really graphic novel cover style, I guess. It's very easy when you're making a sort of apocalyptic near-future game to go dark and gloomy, but we didn't want to go that way. It didn't fit the tone. We wanted something brighter and more welcoming.
Yeah, the art style is dope. I give them that.
Avoided that sort of gloomy 80s neon cyberpunk look, and instead went for what I call an app punk look. So we have these corporations running Mars, and we've got this concept of big data and gamification, and really consumers as products. That's what we're riffing off here. So we wanted to get this sort of like dystopia, this authoritarian dystopia via a well-being app, if you like. So that's kind of like what's shaped the look of the game.
So you've told me a little bit about this world. I'm really curious, is there a single player component or is there lore in the multiplayer where I can learn more about what's happened to this universe?
Right. That was a good question.
This is a multiplayer game. It's a fast-paced multiplayer experience. But we've built this really rich, deep lore, fun and funny too, right? And the whole game experience is imbued with this. The environments, the messaging around the environments, the actual game mode itself, how we present all of the gadgets, and of course, what all of the characters, the hyenas, what they talk about themselves, what they talk about the world they're in, and their relationships with each other. But what really drove the development of Hyenas was when we started thinking about this game, battle royales were becoming popular, and we were really interested in how they broke the paradigm of the two-team arena battle, and they create these really asymmetrical, unpredictable experiences.
Are y'all gonna show some gameplay, bro?
There might be 3 or 4 teams coming together.
That's how it's
of
gonna look.
various sizes in combat. You would face off with each other with completely different loadouts. I might have a frying pan and you might have an AK.
That says clout.
And of course,
you can
where
gain
you
clout in
start
this
from the
game.
game was luck. So we really like the way these unpredictable, almost chaotic, asymmetrical situations create new gameplay and new tactics, and importantly, new player stories. And so that's what we took from it. We didn't want to make a battle royale, but we wanted to take that idea of creating this sort of unpredictable, chaotic space where players would find this new gameplay, find new tactics, and ultimately find new player stories.
Can you actually
So
tell
kind
me
of
about
like team-based
one of those
battle royale
unexpected gameplay moments that you experienced?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you loads about them. So it could be.
How about you show us loads about it?
Like, and you are racing to find the respawn point, and you're flying down one of our zero-G corridors, and you've got bullets whizzing behind you, clanging off all the metal, and you're dropping grenades behind you in zero-G, to try and blow them off course. And you make it to an open door, and you just manage to slide under before it slides down shut, and then you turn around and you foam it shut, and you've got maybe 20 seconds to get away. That's quite, those sorts of things happen, and then it may be that you're attacking one of the vaults to rob the merch, and you're dealing with the security systems. Then all of a sudden another team comes in and starts trying to ambush you.
You get third party. Yep. So just like every other game, every other team shooter.
Get an advantage and kind of like push them.
Nobody know how to mind their
team.
business.
And or it could be that you win that encounter and you finally get to the vault. You get to the vault and you open it and you step in, and what you're stealing, well, maybe it's actually the first album that you ever bought. And I'm really happy, right, that, if I can be a heretical creative director and have a moment of anti-immersion, right, where we really touch you, and for a second you feel the emotion the characters in the game and the Mars Elite do as they feel that connection with that piece of IP.
Well, I have to ask about the characters. There's a lot of very colorful characters in this game. Do they have
Yeah,
any
the very
unique
colorful
abilities?
characters
How do they
and
each
environments
differ?
for sure.
So when we started making the characters from a gameplay perspective, I mean, of course you have your hero tropes, gameplay tropes, but for Hyenas, we had this common gameplay thread running through every part of the gameplay, which was engage, evade, exploit. And we see that in the characters, we see that in the ships, in the gadgets, in the vaults. And we wanted to answer this question, right? We wanted to give players maximum agency when they played this game. So evade characters, obviously, they go in all guns blazing.
Where's the gameplay?
Unsubtle approach.
Can we get some gameplay, please?
Evade in Hyenas is a little bit of stealth, I guess, and a little bit of recon, but really it's a celebration of fast-paced, skillful movement. So be that dodging in between laser tripwires on your way to a vault, or slaloming
Let's look at the
down
chat,
a,
because I know the chat is
a
like
zero-G
Z's, L,
corridor. And then we have
L
exploit.
reveal.
And exploit
Look,
is an intelligent way to play
as soon as I said it,
It's
look,
about
look,
using the ship
all
systems,
Z's sleeping, L
the
game, like,
NPCs,
I called
the
it, like,
switches, the gravity
they not feeling
systems,
this. We not
and
feeling
the
this.
chaos to your advantage.
At least show some gameplay,
So
bro.
we think about those three concepts when we're creating all of our characters.
I like
So
it
I have to
anyway.
ask,
Support the
how did
cause. I
you
get a lot of
invent
my
these characters'
content from
personalities? I think a
IGN.
lot of characters nowadays in games have become fan favorites through their personalities, through various lines or lore, and I'm really curious to hear how you develop these characters' backgrounds.
Yeah, that was a really fun challenge. So once we understood their gameplay space, as we talked about before,
Y'all don't have
then,
nothing to show.
got
Like,
two creative
I hate when
pillars.
they do this. Like,
one was anti-heroes.
it's about the game,
Why are
bro.
these
Like,
people
show the
criminals? What
game.
is it that they're missing?
I don't
And
care
then
what
the
you're
other one
talking about right
was,
now.
Out of place in space, right? So for these characters to be out of place in where they are, we have to really ground them somewhere else. We wanted our hyenas to be extremely relatable and recognizable. So we look for archetypes that we all know, right? That you may follow, or you may be friends with, or you see on TV, or whatever. And then once we understood what that archetype was going to be, and our creative and concept teams worked those up, we then worked with consultants who knew that archetype particularly well. Right? It's very important to us that we made fully rounded characters, not stereotypes. So we worked with the consultants to get all the rich detail of who these people were. And then the next stage was to cast the actor very carefully and then work with them to develop the character even further.
Right.
One of the fun things we did was we would run these mockumentary interviews where we would ask them to improv an interview, really, where we were asking them questions about their life and the taint and why they became a hyena, and they'll be improving why that was. And it's through a combination of these
promos,
kind of four
like
things,
wrestling.
our creative teams, the consultants, the actors and the gameplay. It's through those four things that we brought these characters and made really rounded, three-dimensional gameplay characters. And we're really looking forward to revealing these as we move forward development.
Thank you so much for joining us, Charlie. But don't
Okay,
go anywhere,
that
everybody
was
else,
a
because right
snooze
now we have
fest.
an exclusive developer Rewind Theater picking apart that announcement trailer for Easter eggs, secrets, and so much
Man,
more.
we don't care about
And
that,
right
bro.
After that, we're sitting down
Come
with
on now.
design director on Hyenas, Alex Bro.
I said
Yo.
stop playing with the merch and move. Can't you see we're busy?
Very busy, darling.
Honestly, bro,
In a
I'm gonna
special
stop it right there.
partnership with Sega
Like,
and Creative Assembly,
I'm gonna stop it right there. Like, I've seen enough. Like, I want to see the gameplay. See, look, they throwing tomatoes, Z's, boring. Everybody leave. Yeah. So, I'll say this. So, I'm looking forward to what the game actually looks like because the concept is dope and the artwork is dope. Matter of fact, I'll just let it run while I'm talking, like I usually do. I'm looking forward to seeing, how these concepts play out. I'm looking forward to see the perspective of the game. I'm looking forward to see how well the servers hold up because there's a lot going on with this type of game. I'm looking to see how the team-based dynamics work. I'm looking to see what type of weapons you get, what type of perks and abilities each operator or character has. I'm looking forward to seeing that. So, but this the way they presented it is just very, very underwhelming. I like the 0G idea, but it's just you're not showing it in action. These are the type of games where a trailer is cool, but we're in 2022, bro. If you don't got no gameplay ready, we don't really care. We don't. I'm talking to other developers. I know, like, my channel's nothing right now, but one day somebody will see this, and when I rise to prominence, and they'll be like, you know what? JusticeXFalls said that a long time ago. Like, if it don't have no gameplay in it, 9 times out of 10, we don't care. We don't care. Like, show a trailer, cool, but show some gameplay, bro. Show some gameplay, because that was a snooze fest. And all this breaking down the stuff, and that's all speculation. We don't care. We need to see the gameplay. So I'm looking forward to this game, but I'm disappointed at this presentation. That's my final thoughts on it. So y'all let me know what y'all think. So y'all already know the vibes. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. This is your boy JusticeXFalls, and we out. 1.